Welcome to my channel. My name is Cindy. Today I am going to finish some projects that I left a long time ago. It is a spice rack, a little table, a little towel rack, and a 4x4 wooden post with a wooden bottom. So, stay tuned. So this is my first project of the day. It is an old shelf. I've already painted it and distressed it. It needs to have a good vacuuming job, get all the dust and dirt off of it. It had a few breaks in it that I had to repair. It has turned out to be an absolutely gorgeous piece. So I have to finish it off. I'm going to clean it all up. I'm going to give it a final sanding with some 220 sandpaper. And then I'm going to cover it with the polyacrylic. It usually takes 2 or 3 coats. You sand in between each coat. And this will be done today. I'm very happy about that. It's a beautiful piece. This next one is a table that has got 2 coats of black and a coat of white on it. My mother brought it to me and asked me to fix it up for her. I will show you a before picture. I do believe it's the only one I have a before picture of. So I'm hoping to finish that one off today as well. The third thing I have is this shelf. I love this shelf. Oh, it goes this way. No, it goes this way. It goes this way. For some reason, someone put holes in it in the top part. So it confuses me when I pick it up. Anyways, it's a beautiful old shelf. I'm going to clean it up, paint it all up. It's got a few places where it needs some wood filler. I'm going to fill in these holes as well. They don't actually come through too bad on the other side, just a little indent. And then the fourth thing that I'm going to do is this. It is just a piece of 4x4 cut to look like a roof with a wooden bottom. It too was found in the heavy haul. It's got one old screw right here. I think I may have to leave that in there and kind of work around it. It's pretty embedded. Looks like somebody dug some other ones out though. So it's pretty rustic looking. It's going to get sanded down. And my thoughts, for some reason I think that is the front. Probably because it's got a hole right here. But I thought maybe we could turn this into an apartment birdhouse. I have a few ideas for that. So, anyways, let's get started. I have had these 4 items kicking around my house for a little while, and I thought it was time to get them finished. So this spice rack that I'm working on, I got from my sister's boyfriend in a heavy haul. He picked it up on the side of the road and brought it to me. And I have wanted to redo it for a few years now. It started out just wood. I covered it with a bin stain blocker, and it keeps the yellow from coming through. And then I painted it with just some paint that I got at Canadian Tire. It has turned out to be an absolutely beautiful piece, and I'm very pleased that it will be done today. So I use this polyacrylic to seal it in now that it's all sanded smooth and cleaned and vacuumed. Now with this Minwax, you do not want to stir it too much, and you definitely do not want it shaken when you're at the store. What happens if you stir it too much or shake it, it forms little air bubbles. And then you are forced to sand them out when you are done. I love this stuff. It gives a beautiful, beautiful coat. And I'm just gonna wipe it on and let it dry. This little spice rack turned out very nicely. I will be very happy to display it in my home. I'm going to see if I can find somewhere for it in my kitchen. And we are now going to work on this little table for my mom. I'm going to just sand in between coats with the 220 sandpaper just to give it a little bit of roughness and to help take out some of these brush lines. I don't really like that. And I find when they get like that, if you don't sand a little bit, then they just keep coming through. So I'm gonna put the second coat of paint on this. I've sanded it all off and it's nice and smooth on the top. I've already done the second coat on the bottom side, except I did forget that, but I will give it the final coat and then we will distress it and put some of the polyacrylic on it. This paint that I'm using is Satin Interior Paint and Primer from Canadian Tire. It's a mist tint. And I got it, I think, for $5, maybe 10, I'm not sure. The color is called White Sand, but it's a mist tint, so I don't know if that is accurate or not. Anyways, I like the color of it. It's kind of a creamy white. It doesn't have that blue white background. I kind of like the color of this. So this is the finished product of that little table. Since I was doing it for my mom, she indicated to me that she did not like the distressed look and asked me not to distress it. So I gave it 2 coats of the polyacrylic and sanded between coats, and it is dry. Staging it so you can see how gorgeous it looks. And then I'm going to take it to her. I'm going to fill in these holes. And there's a few indents where the wood has been, I don't know what happened there. Anyways, I'm going to fill those up and I'm going to put some tape on this before I go too far. There, the tape goes all the way around too. Probably looks like I did too much, but I can't stand the thought of cleaning that off. Anyways, I couldn't find any wood filler, so I'm just going to use, I call it mud. It's for drywall, fixing drywall really. But for this application, it will not matter. And then I'll even be able to tell the difference when I'm done. These big deep holes will need several coats. I have to do spray painting outside because I do not have a place in my home where I can do it without having the toxic fumes get me. So here we are all set up on my freezer. As you can see, a little bit of a piece of plywood on the back to protect my vinyl siding from this overspray. So I am just putting the first coat of the polyacrylic on the little towel rack. So this is the little towel rack, all finished. I don't have any place to actually hang it, so I thought I would just set it on my table and show you how adorable it is. It has a really nice shelf on it. It would look good anywhere in a bathroom or a laundry room. So here's our little 4x4 post. Sand it down as much as I can. I do have to do a bit of hand sanding. This one right here seems a little bit high, but it is there, and I just have to bore it out a little bit bigger. This is just where an old screw used to be. I could probably put another hole right here and have it as a 2-apartment, a duplex. I'm excited to get started. As you can see, I have been working on the little birdhouse duplex. I have painted the front of it brown. I added a window on that side, 2 windows and some moss on this side, and another window on that side. I've got some supplies because I think we're gonna do a woodland look. So I have my scissors, my knife, and my pruners. I need these because over here I have some red dogwood twigs. This is an old apple tree, but it's got some beautiful, beautiful moss on it. Now, when I was a kid, they called that old man's beard. So I'm sure that is the name of it, old man's beard. Actually, I don't know. But I got those off the apple tree. This is some old man's beard that was just laying out in my woodshed on the ground, so I picked that up. This is some bottom moss, reindeer moss. This is preserved moss. I've got 2 bags of that. This is the sheet moss that I put on the back of the birdhouse. And these are moss rocks, they're called. Anyway, that's what I have for natural elements for this. I have some old wooden, well, they're not old, some wooden birds. Looks like some are painted, some are not. I have some stars, some wooden stars. I have a little wooden flower pot. I have sandpaper, which I don't know if I'll need, and I have some little wooden logs, or pieces of little logs. And then I have my roof, which is an old license plate. To finish it off, get everything together, I have the glue gun and the wood glue, the Gorilla Glue. My favorite project was working on this duplex birdhouse. I found it to be very relaxing and rewarding to take an old piece of 4x4 and turn it into something that I can use in my spring, summer, and fall porch decor. At this point, I wish I had a Lazy Susan to turn it around for you, but here is the front. Here is one side, and you just see how that beautiful, beautiful moss just looks so good on the side of that. I used birch bark for the window, and I went around it with that reindeer moss, which I do believe was quite smelly. This is the back. We have 2 windows here outlined with birch bark and dogwood and then that flat moss, which I really liked, and then outlined with the reindeer moss. All the little birdies are chirping away on their spots. This is the other side. Once again, that gorgeous, gorgeous old man's beard. I just love that stuff. And there we go. Back to the front. Got a little ladder. Thank you so much for joining me today. I had a lot of fun. It was so nice to finish something off and just have it done. Put it in the done pile. I do not know what I will do with the towel rack. I'll probably give it to a family member, but the other two items I'm definitely keeping for me. And you know, the little table was for my mom, and she's loving it. She puts her earphones on it. So thank you so much for joining me. Please leave a comment below if you liked my video. You can go ahead and hit the subscribe button and the little bell so you get notified of when I upload another one. Thank you so much, and have yourselves a great day.